Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all well. Right, we're on the channel outside the Overton, 19.2 thousand subscribers. Um, it's Charlie Kirk's death. Assassination is the topic of the video. The video is called Ballistics Don't Lie. A video I didn't want to make. I actually seen two videos yesterday saying a video I didn't want to make. One was by DGA Media, kind of slagging off AY Audits because AY Audits was slagging off DGA Media. So this was the second video of the day that was entitled a video I didn't want to make. Well, we're on two completely different subjects, to be honest. So, right outside the Overton, ballistics don't lie. Now the video is 21 minutes long. Right. The problem is with this video is I said, yeah, I think I said earlier on today when I made the Charlie Veach video. The Charlie Veach mentioned he hadn't seen the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I'd just seen like the initial first video, and then I didn't need to see the shooting because I don't not believe the world in a way, if you know what I mean. Like the say it's been shot. A lot of people have seen it. I went to the vigil, so a lot of people are mourning. So I take it as read that the guy's been shot and killed. Do you know what I mean? I don't need to see him actually die. So that was kind of my crack, to be honest, until I came across this video. And unfortunately, this video, in order to try and grasp the crack, you have to watch Charlie Kirk being shot a few times. So I'm kind of apologising in advance at the same time because this video to some will be slightly graphic. But in order to get to the truth, and not just on this particular subject, but on any subject, you have to look at the evidence and you have to look at what's gone on, and you have to. Everything is up for scrutiny in a way. And I've seen a lot of videos, to be honest. I've seen a lot, and people off a lot of channels, to be honest, and I might put another channel in this. Maybe the body language guy is another one who's questioning the narrative here and what's gone on with Charlie Kirk, who's assassinated him. We've got oh god, the black woman. Forgot her name now. Her name's just completely went from my head. She was good friends with Charlie Kirk. She keeps going on about Candice Owens. That's her name. You got Candice Owens going on about Israel, and Israel have killed him, and you've got a lot of good stuff being said in the background. I don't know if anybody's totally aware of everything that's being said. So people are saying that the shooter that they've arrested isn't the shooter in the picture. Some people are saying that he's been assassinated by Israel. Some people are saying he's been assassinated by a left-wing sort of terrorist cell, Antifa. There's a lot of stuff flying around here, a lot of stuff. So, this video is addressing, it's kind of a John F. Kennedy, to be honest. It's an absolute John F. Kennedy. And the last time, and I heard this assassination be referred to as, by Charlie Veach as one person, but others as well, as like a John F. Kennedy style assassination, and he very much was, to be honest. I mean, he wasn't in the car, but apart from not being in the car and not actually being the president of the United States, very much was an assassination in the way of John F. Kennedy. Now, what's being said here? Sorry, it's took a while to get to actually what the fuck's going on here, but what's going on here is this guy's claiming, and it's not the only guy to claim this. I've seen another video also claiming the exact same thing, possibly a third, but I don't think I watched it, but in passing. Um, yeah, but I've definitely seen two talking about this exact same subject and bullet trajectory, where the bullets come from, where the bullets hit Charlie Kirk and entered and left his body. And this person here, who knows firearms, has been in the military, I believe. If you he waffles on quite a lot at the start of the video, and I've waffled on quite a lot at the start of this video. So it's kind of like I don't want to play the start of the video because he waffles on a bit, explaining everything I have explained there. But then there's a lot of talk of uh, well, there's a mic. He's got a mic on that comes off round his ear, like this guy's wearing. And for the first part of the video, he's talking about what happens with the mic and how the mic affects the t-shirt on impact. And he's got a mic and wire underneath his shirt and round into his earpiece. And it all comes off basically when he gets shot, and he tugs at his t-shirt. Is kind of what all of this is about, the first part of the video. So then he goes about here exit and entry wounds. Now this is very interesting, and again I won't play this bit of the video, but do go and look at this. Plus I'm sure other people who are familiar with firearms in the world, be it police, be it army, be it just an American who likes shooting, some people will be aware of firearms. So again, this guy's information, it's not like he's a complete expert on it or the only expert. There will be plenty of other people who will be able to clarify what this guy's saying. I cannot. I live in England. I've never fired a gun in my life. We don't really have the access to guns in England, so I don't know, to be honest, about a lot of this. You have to take people who claim to know what they're talking about at the word, but I mean, there's still logic and there's still physics and there's still all these things that you know what I mean, common sense. So you can still not know a lot about a subject, but use all these other things, logic and common sense, and still come to a fairly solid conclusion. So exit wounds, entry wounds, as we see, I mean, these are only pistols that he's got on the screen here. But an exit wound and entry wound, as we see from the .45 being the biggest caliber ammunition on show here, the entry wound and the exit wound are very, very different. The entry wound is small, the exit wound is large. So the guy's basically claiming that what you see on Charlie Kirk's neck is actually an exit wound, not an entry wound, which would make it absolutely impossible that the shooter on the roof that's being claimed to have shot this man, this guy who apparently ran off the roof, jumped off the roof, limped away, all the stuff that we've seen, it would make it impossible for that guy to make the shot if that is an exit wound, basically, is what is being said here. It's a bit like John F. Kennedy, and again, the grassy knoll, how John F. Kennedy's head reacts to apparently being shot from behind. From the book depository, which was behind him at the time, we'd passed the book depository. Yet the shot looks like it hits Kennedy's head from the front or from the side, not from the back. A massive problem with the John F. Kennedy assassination. It's been talked about many a times, mentioned massively by Bill Hicks on stage. Many a time Bill Hicks mentioned the John F. Kennedy assassination, and one of the things is the magic bullet. There's quite a few things in the John F. Kennedy assassination that don't quite add up. Well, one of them is back and to the left, which is the head movement of Kennedy when he was shot, back and to the left, so he kind of was shot from the right front to the right, is the hypothesis. So we have a similar situation here where this guy's claiming, and not just this guy, I've seen another one at least, and I've seen one in passing that I didn't watch, claiming the similar thing, that is an exit wound and not an entry wound, and that the shooter wasn't the shooter on the roof. There must have been another shooter, and yeah, that's the claim. I mean, I don't know, but looking at the size of the wound on the neck, as we can see here in the picture, that is quite a large wound. And again, apparently, because again you can see from the pictures on the screen, when it goes in, it doesn't move quite. It's gone in, as everyone can understand through logic. Do you know what I mean? It's gone in. It's not, when it's come out, it's going to make a bigger hole, and blood's going to come out with it. So again, what's being claimed is that on Charlie Kirk's neck is an exit wound, not an entry wound. So it means he would have had to been shot from the right side, through the right side through the right side, back side of his neck, and the bullet coming out of the left front side of his neck. So Again, I don't know anything about firearms. Never had used a gun. Don't know anything about this at all, really. Other than kind of this makes sense that the exit wound is bigger. That is quite a large wound. Blood does apparently spurt out. He does try not to show it on the video. He doesn't. I think he manages not to show the blood spurt out, but then blood does spurt out. So he's kind of got. He's got a bit of a backing in terms of logic anyway, and common sense. If anything, that he's talking a bit of truth here. That could be an exit wound. So again, I don't know. I just thought it was good to let it put it out there. It's being said, and you can make your own mind up. And anybody else who doesn't know anything about guns might be able to clarify what he's saying here. Is the other side of it. I cannot, but I just thought I'd put the information out there because again, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of stuff being said about this guy's death in the background here. Candidates Owen saying it's Israel. You've got these people saying that that's an exit wound. You got people saying that that's not the shooter in the picture. So a lot's being said again. I mean, we had a very similar weird event in Liverpool where a car ramming event happened, and then people thought the person in the picture wasn't the person in the car, and he looked younger, and all sorts of weirdness behind it. There was snipers on the roof at the time. Weirdly, he looked like he went for the crowd, and there was a big space in the street. It was all weird. So a lot of people didn't trust that event. It was a big event, and again, we have these big events, and whether it's just conspiracy theorists making stuff up or it is dodgy. But again, like that Liverpool, there was a bit behind it that kind of was like, what's going on here? But nothing will ever come of it, you know what I mean? But again, snipers on the roof, that was a big thing. Snipers on the roof. Tottenham had a parade not about a week earlier in London, which is probably a more dangerous city. There was no snipers. There was no snipers to be seen. So yeah, look, it was dodgy. So this has got some dodginess again in the background now. People saying stuff, all this kind of crack. So I'll play a bit of the video. Sorry for taking 12 minutes to get here. But I was just kind of explaining it and missing out all there's 9 minutes I've missed out of the video. So there you go. What about even, really? So I'll play a bit and let him talk, but I'll maybe skip it forward. See, he goes on about next week. I'll skip it forward to about 30 minutes. If you want to watch the previous 30 minutes, go and watch the video. He does make a lot of good points. There is lots of angles and shots, and he talks about the mic, and he gives you all sorts of reasons why. I'm just going to skip forward to where he's mainly talking about the entry and the exit wound, because again, I think there's maybe something in it.
Recognition here, or some variation of that, right? This guy in the white hat, his name is Frank Turk. He put a statement out on Twitter. Maybe I'll find it and pull it up. It's kind of irrelevant. His name's Frank.
No, Gremlins in the machine. Hold on, PlayStation YD.
Frank Turk. He's been around a long time. I followed him for a long time. I like a lot of his work. Go check him out if you don't mind his apologetics. Yeah, specifically his interview he did with Alice O'Connor. I really like that one. Anyway, Frank Turk, Alice O'Connor. This is Frank Turk, and what's getting a lot of traction here is not only are we going to look at the earpiece again, right? Earpiece flies off, boom, 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 pulls it with it, and then there goes everything else. What we're going to look at here is a lot of people claiming this is a reflection. It's not a reflection of the bullet. It's not a reflection of the bullet. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because, well, the bullet's already there, right? The bullet's already there. There's one frame. It's already there. The reflection would be back towards, like...
I'm just going to, sorry to interrupt him, but a lot of other channels have picked out people in the crowd acting very strangely. There was a guy just in the background there. I'll just try and go back slightly. This guy here apparently smiled as when he was shot. There's a guy who jumped up and cheered that people have maybe seen with long hair. They come out with some bullshit excuse that was a bullshit excuse. Didn't cover him. That one guy alone didn't make it suspicious for me. Just one guy, although he was quite suspicious that he's jumped up and cheered at the time when everybody else is ducking. Was very suspicious, but on its own, I just thought, leave it alone. A man's died. Let's not, you know what I mean? Let's not be a conspiracy theorist and start making up stories about a man's death here. A man has died, brutally assassinated in public in front of his family. Let him rest in peace. But then I watched this video, and we've got this guy apparently smiling, we've got the guy jumping up, we've got a guy over here, people apparently making signals and stuff as well, has been called as well. So I'll maybe bring all of this forth and all the things that have been said now, but I thought we better start on this one because people doing few things in the crowd, as dodgy as it looks, it doesn't prove anything. But being shot from a completely different direction changes things massively, massively, and possibly means that wasn't the shooter, he was a decoy, or there was multiple shooters like John F. Kennedy. Yeah, it thickens the plot massively if he was shot from a completely different direction, and then maybe implicates all these people in the crowd far, far more to a far bigger conspiracy, possibly. But yeah, people acting weirdly in the crowd, maybe not quite enough. People doing signals, maybe not quite enough. Could just be coincidence. The guy jumping up dodges his looks, doesn't really prove anything. But being shot from a completely different direction, that's big news, and does kind of prove something. It proves that the guy's not the shooter on the roof. It should prove a bigger conspiracy. There was more people involved on the day as well, and there could have been multiple shooters. Um, who knows the implications of what this could mean, and but it does mean something big if this be true. That's the problem. So that's why I'm mentioning it. So again, the claim is he's being shot. So as my cursor here, he's being shot from this direction. The bullets maybe even downwards this way. He's being well more. I can't really do the angle due to the thing. It needs to sort of come down and out towards the crowd. If the other side of the neck, what we're seeing on the front, is an exit wound, it has to be coming from sort of the direction that we're looking here from the camera. So that's the claim. Let's see if there's anything in it.
I don't even know. Back towards like here somewhere. That doesn't even make sense. Right? If Frank's here, Cam 4 is here, Frank's here, it would be over here. Anyway, irrelevant to the point. We're going back to a Final Cut. All right, and this is that just, like I said, it just doesn't make sense. Throw that one away. Throw that in the trash. Anybody says that. Are we going to move on back?
Also, just sort of look at the direction that Charlie Kirk actually falls when he's shot. He does fall the way as if the bullets come in this way and hit him in the right side of the neck. He does fall to the left.
Let's throw that one away. Throw that in the trash. Anybody says that. Are we going to move on back to camera angle 1 and then finish this up? This is camera angle 1, just pulled from a higher portion of the video, right? So if we're looking at this, the bullet is coming in from somewhere in this direction or somewhere in this direction, right? It has to float this way. If we're looking at bullet here, which I think we can confirm given everything else that we've seen. Where is it? Frame here. So if we're looking here, this is camera angle 1 on up. Let's assume this is a bullet. I think it's safe to say that that is the bullet given this, given this, given this, given everything else. We can go back to Pixelmator Pro, take a look at this thing. And so we have this shot of Charlie Kirk, and then we have the bullet behind him. The bullet behind him is like right here in angle, somewhere in this vicinity. And so what we have to do is we can track that bullet. Boom. We can track about where that bullet is, give or take. And then we can follow that on here. And so this is what I'm going to show you. I think this is a muzzle flash. But I'm gonna show you the problem that I have with it here in a second. Let's assume this is a muzzle flash, right? So look top, whoa, let me pull you up. So look top left up here. You see this white dot. I want you to see this white dot. It's a single frame. It's a single frame white dot. So we can go back, forward. It's a single frame. That's all it is, single frame. But that single frame is very coincidental, or that's a muzzle flash. Kind of throw it off as coincidental because we already have our answer to kind of direction of the bullet. It's quite literally not possible to do what was done from a straight on shot. It doesn't happen. And I would say there's not two shooters. I would say there's a single shooter. Anyway, given this is a muzzle flash, we're looking top left up here, guys. We go, we're going to count frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, 8 frames. 9, 10 is when he gets hit. So we're going to go 8 frames. It almost looks like a vapor trail here, but the problem is everything's so grainy, right? So if we're looking, we can do vapor trail later, but if we're looking here, vapor trail. I know there's a lot of movement there, so I'm not.
Yeah, I can see it just here. I'll make it bigger. I can see what he's saying. I'll put it back at the start of the video as well. There is one shot he's got at the start of the video where it possibly looks like on this one there is a bullet. I will play that before the end of the video. But I can see what he's saying there. As if something's coming in.
Not saying it is. I'm just saying if we're assuming, which I think we are, it's quite possible there is. Anyway.
It kind of does. Like, that's the thing for me. Not just taking into consideration the exit and entry wound and what he's talking about there. For me, it does kind of look like he's being shot from that direction. How his body reacts. I don't know what everybody else thinks of that. Do you think that it kind of looks like he's being shot from the side, and that could be an exit wound? Never mind taking into consideration of exit wound and entry wound sizes. Just on how Charlie Kirk's body reacts and which way he falls, for me is it's got a bit of credence in that alone. But taking into consideration the entry-exit wound theory of what he's saying here, and how obviously exit wounds are bigger than entry wounds, which again common sense and logic, to be honest. Yeah, it's them two things together. It holds a bit of weight for me. Again, how Charlie Kirk falls, and again exit wounds. It was a big wound on his neck, and again blood spurts out shortly afterwards. I believe I haven't seen that still. But again, this guy who knows his guns is telling you that that's kind of how an exit wound behaves.
Regardless, not really the point. So this is about eight frames would put you at like 200 yards. The problem is 200 yards would put you way far away. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 80 meters right here. And so if we're looking at this, there's nowhere to have it. And so either there's something off with the frame, or it's just not a muzzle flash, which I'm perfectly fine with saying that it's not. Regardless of if it is or not, we still have basically confirmation he got shot from his right, exit out the left. If I had to guess, I would say he got hit at the base of the skull.
Yeah, and again, he doesn't know the caliber of the weapon. He goes back into the front here and him getting shot, but just on this bit alone here, again, look how he's falling. Sorry, there's blood coming out now on there. It's on his t-shirt, but again, more evidence that's an exit wound. His blood is starting to come out already. It's on his t-shirt, and he's only in the fall, but again, he's fallen to the left. So there is one frame here, I believe, and you'll possibly see the bullet. So I'll just play this bit.
There's compression that happens on the internet, and so it's hard to find original 1, 2. Then everybody wants to screenshot it because it's not downloadable. Anyway, it is grainy, so even as it goes into Final Cut, it loses a little bit of it. So just halfway trust me that the video. Let's roll. All right, so this is like I said, camera angle 1. Let me get to it. This is camera angle 1 as we go. This is camera angle 1 is you can see the bullet before the frame before, right? So if we're looking right here, I don't know if you can see that on there, zoom in. You could say, Zeb, that's just a fly flying by, or that's just a piece of dust specking up sunlight. And I could say, okay, that's fine. Let's take that. So here we have, this is a frame before it hits Charlie, right? One frame. This is one frame. Bing, bang, boom. This is a single frame. Bullet, Charlie. And you say, Zeb, how's that the bullet? He shot him from the rooftop straight in front of him. I said, well, let's come into this with no understanding of what the FBI told us. This is the bullet, right? And so we're going to follow up with some more of this here in a second. That's camera one. Obviously, there's that angle. We're going to go into camera two. Camera two is a little bit.
Right. I'm gonna stop it there. Really. I don't want to play too much of Charlie Kirk being shot. I'm not a big fan of it. But I kind of think he's got a point. That's the problem. I didn't want to make this. It is actually a video I didn't want to make. That's the beauty of it. It'll be the third one the third video today of a video I didn't want to make because I didn't want to. Again, he's died horribly in front of his family. He's been assassinated. Don't be a conspiracy theorist. Yada yada yada. Don't drag this person's death down the road like Jay Slater as an example. But at the same time, if it's not happened as we're being told, and we all know that the media and everybody lies to us, that's the problem here. Then it needs to be known what's really happened here and who has killed Charlie Kirk. That's the other side of it. Should it not be this lone gunman on the roof, this apparently trans person? Again, it could be a plot to blame the left wing. That's where you've got to be open-minded here, and we live in a crazy, crazy world where people get assassinated and plots happen, and we're living in crazy, crazy times. The fact that this guy has been assassinated is proof of the crazy times that we're living in. So you've got to keep an open mind, and you've got to be open to the possibilities of what could have really happened here, because like John F. Kennedy, we've been lied to for what? It was John F. Kennedy in the 60s, I think. So what for 60 years we've been lied to about John F. Kennedy. So the chances of this being a lie are probably quite high statistically because of other events in the world, and what we get lied about about is a lot. This is the truth, and the mainstream media lie all the time. So it could be dodgy because, and what's making it dodgy for me, and I've heard all the stuff about the people in the crowd, which has all got some, like the guy jumping up and cheering, and people making signals as well in the background over here to the left, and there's the guy looks like he does a hand shooting thing, and then Carly Kirk goes down. A lot of weirdness in the background here, but of all of the weirdness, again, I left it all be. I never mentioned any of it, even the guy jumping up, which was real dodgy. I left it all alone till I seen this video and this guy saying he knows guns, etc., etc. He's been in the army, I believe, if you listen to the start of the video. Um, yeah, he's probably got a bit of knowledge on it, but not just what this guy's saying. It does look like on the previous video he just played, like that could be the bullet coming in, and it does look like an exit wound, and it does look like he's been shot from the right by the way his body reacts. So I thought there was enough in it to mention it, to be honest. And again, a video I didn't want to make, but I thought there was enough in it to mention it because this guy kind of knows what he's talking about. Logic and common sense suggest he's not talking shit completely. It does possibly look like an exit wound. It does look like the body reacts as if it's been shot from the right and falls to the left. And then you've got a lot of weirdness in the background with people in the crowd and all the other stuff. So I thought it was definitely worth a mention. And again, the truth is the truth. Doesn't matter what we're talking about. The truth is the truth, and everybody wants the truth. And to me, there's enough for questions to be asked here, is what I'm trying to say, and I think what this guy's trying to say. there's enough going on here now to suggest we need to maybe start asking some questions and looking into what we're being told on this particular narrative by the mainstream media yet again. So I'll leave it there. Peace.